Though probably not as good as the first Avengers, which was probably more compact and had less problems for itself, and not as good as Black Panther for its cultural relevance and game-changing ideas. And I know I gave it 4 stars. I was disappointed in it. I understand where everyone else stands on it, and I actually might want to go back and re-review it once it comes out on DVD and I can watch it enough times. But Avengers Infinity War lives up to all that hype and more. Its design and complete intrigue is incredible, and though not focusing on characters we'd probably want to see more of, Avengers Infinity War is a great-ass movie. Holy shit. There's just so much to unpack. Everything feels almost so much deserved, except for a few smaller moments which can still irk me at times, but when you see it all come together as a cohesive unit, it really is kind of miraculous how this movie kills it on almost every level, both figuratively and literally. And it's understandable why there are problems with it, balancing out story arc from story arc to, well, more story arcs to come together into a satisfying, cohesive whole. And you really can't care about the problems in this because there are just so many great things in here to cover up and overpower the things that don't work. Like a silent death. Okay, that's a really bad analogy, but you get the picture. Thor and Rocket going off to get a new hammer is kind of counterintuitive to the last movie, but his show up in Wakanda is just fantastic nonetheless and is totally worth the payoff. Star-Lord losing his cool and causing the plan to go off its hinges, that's him completing his character arc. Losing Gamora like how he found out how his mom died and lashed out at his father. Tony telling Pepper about a dream he had where they had a kid and how he wants to protect his family from a quote-unquote monster in the closet? Well, yeah. Hell, actually, now that I think about it, the only person who has a legitimate problem within the story is kind of Captain America, whose actual problem is that he doesn't really have a problem in the story. He's kind of involved in all the Thanos themes at play, besides Vision's story arc, where they have to get him to Wakanda and place out their plan of attack. But even then, his scenes really do steal the show in very dramatic ways, every time in every way. All the actors do that. Hell, they're incredible in this, especially the main man himself, Thanos. His whole ideology is incredibly fascinating, becoming a reversed version of the classic Marvel hero and everything the Avengers stand for. He's just as dedicated to saving the world in his own way, just as much as the other heroes are. Yeah, he's got his own villain moments going on, but under his own psychological neuroses, he's a hardworking single father with hardworking business associates and 2 loving daughters, one of which he's very disappointed in, while the other he's very proud of. The visual spectacle is something to admire as well, switching from handheld tracking shots to visual CGI works that almost seem ripped out of coked-up anime action scenes themselves to fiery and phenomenal success. The way they work on Thanos is almost lifelike. It's like he's really there on set working with those actors. You know, as he's killing them all. Everything just works in this movie. Hell, it's not even a movie. It's an event, an experience. The screenplay, acting, directing, characters, action, editing, cinematography, and pacing are something to behold of. Cramming it together with the Avengers, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and whatever the hell they have planned for Avengers 4. Everything just works in this. Almost. As said before, there are some grievances with the film in question revolving around what characters are meant to get proper screen time and who deserves it or not, as well as some things that don't really make sense until you kind of stop and think about them a bit and how the directors were forced to deal with those things. Things revolving around character moments as well, building up to them in the next movie hopefully to be paid off, but until then we're just kind of squared off in the middle, just a bit annoyed at those things not happening right now. But all around, you really can't care about those problems when there's just so much going on, so much happening. We love these characters, we've grown with these characters, we've seen them go through everything with these characters. And even if you haven't seen any of the other Marvel movies, the substantive bearing on the story with these characters makes you completely understand the struggles and even torment these characters are going through. I was just loving every minute seeing their interactions with each other. To sum everything up, Avengers Infinity War allows you to have the most fun you've ever had since the first Avengers, even while the world's on fire. And in the world that we live in today, I kind of feel like we need that. We all need that. No, I'm not talking about politics. I mean, God no, I don't touch this stuff. See ya at Deadpool 2!